there we go. Hey, we are here and live, and we were supposed to go live at 9, but I had technical issues because I wanted circles. Okay, so now that everybody has heard my weird little welcome, I'm Sarah, but we are going to start our introductions with Brittany, and then we'll explain what we're doing here. So Brittany, go. Who are you, and why do you have BizStorming?
Well, I am Brittany, and I am a accountability tech strategist, which I love because it took how many years to get to that? But also the next part's best too. I help business owners who are tornadoes in a bottle. So many times people are doing all the motions. They're running, they're making all of this, and they feel like they're not making an effect on the world. So I help them break that glass and create the effects that they wanted to make by aligning their selves with their business and with the things that they need to do. So we find their path, we build their path, and then we go with tools and people who can support them so that they do not fail. Go for it, Sarah.
No, I love what you just said. Before I introduce myself, I want to touch base on something you just said about how, it's been a long time coming or whatever, but it hasn't been. You've been doing this for so many years. It just took a while for you to figure out what that title was, what that description was. And I think a lot of people say, oh, if I don't have that right description, I can't do it. And you were like, no, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do it. And someday I'll figure out my label. Right?
Yep, exactly.
And I love that happened. So
exactly. And you have to figure out that alignment. It takes time and it takes conversation.
All right. And so then there's me. Look at me. I'm in the middle. We have our logos up there. And before we're done, we will put all of our contact information in the chat somewhere. I'm going to actually put Brittany on that because I can't talk and do it at the same time. So I'm Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. And I talk fast sometimes, so I apologize for that. So I'll slow it down a little bit. But I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I'm an HR fixer and a business strategist. And along those lines, I focus on leadership. And I build leadership programs and HR programs for small and medium-sized businesses. Contact me for the details if that sounds exciting to you. But to tell you the truth, I don't think it sounds exciting. It's boring as all get out. So I've created a series of coloring books for that purpose, to build leadership and to make leadership a little more fun, because we need fun in our lives, especially with the way the world is going and business is going. We need some fun. Yvette, so tell me, who are you and what is the House of Confidence?
All right. I am Yvette Pinchback and the founder of House of Confidence. It is a community, an exclusive circle where women 40 plus find clarity to see, courage to act, and confidence to be, to have confidence without that huge price tag. I know that it's important that we're transparent. It's important that we are able to speak our truth without feeling condemnation, without feeling like we can't have emotions about certain topics that affect our business. So I felt like complaining a whole lot. I was actually talking to Sarah about being in communities where I didn't feel comfortable being myself, being transparent, saying things that other people really would find kind of edgy or racy or just unpopular. And she basically said, well, why don't you start it? So I believe that was 2 weeks ago, and here I am. So I really connect with just start. You know, if you're having trouble starting, you don't have the confidence, come see me. If you need systems, go see Brittany. And if you have HR issues that you just don't want to face, but you really need to do something about it, check Sarah out. So that's what I'm doing.
I absolutely love that. One of the things that
sorry about that.
No, I'm sorry. I know I told you I'm an introvert, but I wanted to focus on something you said. I know it was the pause. But one of the things that you said that I love about what you're building is the different levels of what you're building. So you talked about not having that big price tag, right? You're going to have some free levels for people to come talk about confidence and build confidence. And then you're going to have those different levels for people that are at different points of their life, different points in their business life. Talk a little bit about what that would look like, those different levels, because I love the price tag thing. So I want people to know that they can come even if they don't have the money right now.
Yeah, I really think it's important to sort of prime yourself. We have confident issues, but it's not all the same thing. Maybe you don't have confidence about talking to your family. Maybe that's your thing. You can run a $2 million business easy, or, $5 million business easy. But when it comes to really connecting with your family, having crucial conversations, it scares you to death. You've never had a coach. You don't know what it means. You don't know how it affects you. I think it's important to get in an environment in which you can try it. You can see it. You can say, okay, I'm defensive about this, and I just want to throw little things out there, or I want to see what other people are experiencing in this area. So you can come into the community and just lurk around and check it out and just kind of get your footing and say, you know what, it does feel safe. I am okay. And maybe I do want to explore some deeper issues. So that's the one tier, and the two tier, and the third is I'm a leader. I have lack of confidence, and maybe it's HR. I think it's really important to get a handle of that, because you're just sort of dripping lack of confidence.
Sure.
It's just in this one little area. You need one little tweak, or you're avoiding something. So I think it's important to come in, and we'd just like to meet you where you are. We don't want to define what your issue is. Tell us, and we'll see what we can do.
I love that. And Brittany,
Great
that
question,
brings me
though.
to you. Oh,
Now,
no.
as far as
What's your question, Yvette?
As far as, yeah, I feel like when it comes to systems, Brittany, how do you put it together? Like, what's the first thing you need to look at? Because you mentioned getting started. And I know I just started literally two weeks ago, because I was complaining again, and Sarah was like, "Why don't you start your own? Stop complaining. I can't hear it again." But how do you start that? What systems do you think we should begin with, or the thought process to try to figure out what to do? Because it's so overwhelming. Like, I'm totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, so I'm a big component of OKRs, and the very beginning of whatever you're doing, you need to know where you want it to end, right? Not necessarily end, but where you want it to be. So at the end of next year, I would like to have a community that has over 1,000 people in it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And this community looks like this, because this is what aligns with who I am and who my business is, because our business is an entity. And so you can create a business that's against who you are, because you're like, oh, I want money, and this business builds money. So then you need to make sure that it's doing money making things. But if you and your business are aligned inside of, we need a community that supports women, now, okay, I need a community that supports women, and this is where I see the support lacking. So these are the things that I'm implementing. And so you have to find that alignment. Once you find that alignment, then you find the platforms. You and I just opened up both of our communities. You went into school. I'd been looking at school. I don't like school. I have to have, my ADHD has to have very pointed limits. And so I need to be able to go into each of the groups, right? School, everything's in one place. It doesn't work for me. But you love school. You've worked well in school. I know quite a few people in school who have great things, because they personally align with that kind of management. And so you have to find the tools that align with who you are and how you can manage it. Because if you build something where you can't align with it, then you're just going to get frustrated every time you walk in.
And just to go off on that, Brittany, would you agree that everyone's alignment is a personal path?
Yes.
Okay.
But everybody will tell you to do what they think is best. So
Right.
don't listen to everybody. Listen to yourself.
Right. Find, or listen to 3 or 4 people and find what path will work for you. Off the beaten path. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm in school because of the simplicity. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. That's why I chose it. Yep.
So I think we've all introduced each other. And I think since this is our first live, I want to just discuss a little bit about why we are doing this and why this is going to be an ongoing.
I have some other platforms, other communities, and it was entirely too much. Just to set it up was overwhelming. And point. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think am I freezing? I know we're live. I don't
know. No, but Yvette froze on me.
Okay. We will get her back here in a second, I'm sure. And we have 0 people watching, so I think we're okay. And I know I'm making that joke, but I do want to talk a little bit about why we're here and what this is going to be moving forward. Today was just an intro, and we'll do quick intros at the beginning of all the next videos that we do in all of our lives. But the purpose of this is to be a little unleashed in business, unleashed in life, and just talking about all those topics that,
Yes, you are back.
You are back. Can you hear us? Yvette, can you hear us? All right. So, Brittany, do you want to try to get her back? Okay. So the goal of this is to talk about the trials and tribulations in your business, right? And in our businesses specifically. So one of the things that we're doing right now is sometimes you have to troubleshoot technology, right? So I'm going to continue to talk. Brittany's going to try to troubleshoot what's going on with the freezing. And if we can't, we'll end this in a couple of minutes, and hopefully Yvette will come back live with us. It's all right. We can add her in when she's ready. Go ahead, Brittany.
Well, I mean, just remember the first time you and I went live.
I should go find that video and share it with Yvette. Okay. That was funny. That's got to be on my, I hope that one went to my YouTube, but it at least went to my Facebook. I have that somewhere. We've had a couple that were technological difficulties.
We've had a few where we went live, didn't know we were live, and had some conversation while we were live.
It's a good thing we didn't talk about anybody. All right, so we'll give Yvette a couple of minutes to come back, and
while she's gone, let's talk about her.
Oh,
so while she's gone, I'm going to talk about her.
I think we should.
Because that community that she is building for women is phenomenal. She has a morning confidence call, which the way that she is evolving that call and building that call out to really invoke thought processes. And guys, when I say she's invoking thought processes, I am horrible at close your eyes and breathe.
She doesn't do that. She does it legit, like the way that it works for us. So if you're not the close your eyes and breathe people, Yvette is for you. I agree.
Yeah.
The one
Don't
thing
get
I
me
saw
wrong,
this morning,
she's done it a few times, but not on us.
So one of the things I saw this morning, though, so she's only had this community for 2 weeks, right? But even less than that she's been trying to get people to join. And this morning she hit, I think it was 20 people that she has active in her community and on these calls and talking about confidence and business topics. It is amazing. You know what I mean? She's done so much to get to this. So Yvette, by the way, we just talked about you for the whole 4 minutes that you were gone.
Yeah.
So can you hear us?
Hear us? No.
All right. We have one watcher. That's probably Delasper or
I think the last was
Sophia.
in the new reality meeting, but I
that's
can't
true.
see because I.
Oh, the person left. So apparently we weren't that exciting. It was one person watching and then they left.
They ran away from us. I need to go. The way that I used to do it is I would go watch us on my stuff. When I get that 32-inch monitor, I'm going to go watch us on my stuff.
I used to do that too. I forgot to do it. I usually bring up my YouTube and watch it live.
So guys,
let us
look,
know when you can hear us.
Here's the thing. Ratings is ratings. Whether it's you or somebody else, I'm taking it.
There you go. There you go. So I do want to, just in case we're ending this soon, to make sure that our technology works for next time. I want us to talk about what the purpose of this is, though, and I know that that we really haven't touched on that. So the purpose of this is to build each of our platforms, to boost each other up, and to get you guys involved with what we're doing. Wonderful. And what you didn't hear me say, Yvette, when you first came back on, was we spent the whole 4 minutes you were gone talking about you. So when you watch this video back, you'll have to go watch what we say. So it's live. So it was all the good stuff we did. Yeah. So
we talked about how amazing your community is and the work that you're putting into it.
I was going to make her go watch it. I was going to make her go watch it.
Yeah, I know. But she can go watch it, but I would like her input.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right? Yeah. So what we said that you have built this amazing community in school and that you have put in a lot of time and effort making sure that you're commenting, you're building posts, you're creating a conversation among everybody. But the other thing that you're doing, and you grew 17 people on your own, which is phenomenal without paid ads. That's amazing. And it was what I think out of that, 7 of those are people that we don't have in our connected circle, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that we were talking about was your confidence call, which is your gateway call, right? So it's the call that anybody can join. And that gateway call really helps so that people can get into the mindset of what this group is about. So Sarah and I were talking about how you're really great at creating you're still working on creating how it's going to unfold, because we all have to start with how this call looks. But you're really great at building confidence and prompting confidence without telling people to close their eyes and take a breath, because Sarah and I will not close their eyes and take a breath. And so we were really pushing that conversation of you're creating powerhouses without the normal, and I wouldn't say normal, but you're doing it in a different way than what people see. And people like Sarah and I can actually resonate better. And a lot of people think that you have to meditate to get to where you're at, or you have to journal, or you have to do these things. And yes, you do prompt me to do those things. However, you also give me other options.
Yeah.
And
the conversations. Yeah. The conversations to talk about what's going on. Go ahead, Yvette.
I think that a lot of time, because I've been in those rooms where, I'm hot seated. Someone start coaching me and they didn't ask permission. They didn't tell me this was going to happen. I didn't, lay my issue on the table for you to do that. And it feels so intrusive. Also, people will coach you from where they are, where they think you should. And there's no acceptance of people. There's no acceptance that that's not where I'm at. And you didn't even take the time to find out. You never connected to me to make me feel safe enough to say personal things to you or have an epiphany. It's really hard to come to a decision about yourself when you're not in a safe space. And I think that's really what's leading me, is having a safe space to actually see yourself and be yourself. They're very, very different things, because we just live in that avatar for so long, it start believing it. And there's no place to go, but if I reveal myself, am I going to get this barrage of what I should be and what, what place I should be in these guideposts and pushing. Maybe you can't. Just maybe you can't. And that's okay too, to just be still and say, this is who I am. And I really need to work on accepting that, because that's where it begins. But it's hard to accept yourself if no one's willing to let you be. So that's what drives that. So I appreciate it. I really, really do. And you guys allowing me to have an impact on your life. I mean, that's the key. You don't have to. So yeah, I appreciate that. I can't wait to look back on it.
Yeah, and I think we had that conversation earlier, Yvette. Not everybody's your client.
Right.
So when you do step into coaching mode, or you do take on coaching mode, or you offer coaching, really look at, is this person my client? And before offering, say, these are the things that I do. Are you or anybody interested? Or
ask the question. Don't assume that everybody is your client.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, you struggle with that because you do want the numbers. I mean, you walk in a room and say, I have 17 members, and everybody's like, well, what? Okay, why are you in here? Like, you didn't hustle, you didn't, market, you didn't brand. I only want to talk to people that have 2,000 people, in their communities and in their room. And it makes you feel, a certain way, like I'm failing. So, I do have to work through that and say the connection is what's important, not the number. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at her that she had to mute herself and her sneeze took up her whole head. Okay. So, but 100%. The thing is, though, what I want to mention that I don't have a community, and I don't see myself having a community. I love that you two allow me to be parts of yours. I'm building different things. But one of the things that I just heard you say, though, was, people look down on 17 people or 20 people if you don't have like 1,000, 2,000. But I would rather be somewhere where 17 people are active in supporting each other and promoting each other and building each other, versus being in a couple of groups that I'm actually in some places where there is like 2,000 people that don't do anything. Right. It's 2,000 people that sit there. And thank you. Brittany just threw my other thing in there. I have a Substack. So follow my blog. But yes, like, you get my perspective on that, right? Like, activity matters in these types of things. So if you're trying to build your confidence, you can't do that in a one-person bubble. It's almost literally the antithesis of building confidence, right?
We're using big words? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we are using big words every once in a while. They're 25-cent words is what we call them in my house. So every once in a while, you got to throw a 25-cent word into there. So but what are your thoughts? You both have communities. What do you guys both think of that? Like the activity versus the, people that just sit there.
Well, I love the fact that we're not competing and that we can have communities and we can go between them. I know a lot of individuals I've spoken to think that it has to be a competition or I can't really participate. And I love that. I really do. I love that connection. What can I do for your community? You guys were the first ones in there, and you helped me draw out the kinks and the problems and the issues. But it was just so nice to have someone who was supportive, and it was just us three talking. And I remember Brittany said, wait, I looked at one of your posts and it looks like you were talking to yourself.
Oh, she has no room to talk. Her business answers her on her social media. Go check out Brittany's social media. She'll have a conversation with herself in her business. It is hilarious sometimes.
But it was a good conversation and I liked it. So
wonderful. You get great answers when you ask yourself.
Right. Okay. They're always right.
They're always right.
So, Sarah, what kind of community do you look for as a business owner? What makes you choose a community?
I want to make jokes, but I won't, because I want to be like, I want communities that find business for me. I want I want communities where I feel the conversations are legitimate. And I don't even mean that means like not surface level. Like, sure, sometimes we're going to talk about surface level things, right? Like my favorite food or something like that, just to get the conversation going. And I get that, but I'm saying like, when push comes to shove, I can say what's in my head without being judged, because this is what's happening in my business. So this is where I am, right? So now help me get to the next step, even if that's not your business. To me, that's legit, right? Everybody's kind of helping everyone, and we're like, okay, you're in a different spot than I am, right? I was there 8 years ago. I was there 3 years ago. I was there last week. I'm not going to judge. I was there once. But if other people are like, oh, I was there 8 years ago, why aren't you there now? That's what I don't like, right? I've been in some communities like that are like, there's this one writing community that I was a part of, and I'm not anymore, but that was what it was. They're like, oh, well, I've written 6 books. You're just starting your first one. Okay. I was there for like 3 days. Cause I'm not I'm starting my first one. Good for you that you're Stephen King and been writing since the 70s.
Right.
Good for you. But that attitude is what I avoid. So I'm drawn to the opposite, where, you meet somebody where they are and you help get them to where, in a sense, where you are, right? Like that's the goal. So yeah, that would be my perspective.
Yes. So it's the support of where you are is what you're looking for. Something like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. The support of where I am. And then go ahead, Brittany. I think you were ready to say something.
I think there's a few things in what you said, right? One, alignment. You have to align with where you're at. But 2, you need to be in a room with people who you want to be, and people want to be you. And that's a conversation that we have had several times is, I'm sorry to say this, but I want to be Yvette. I want to be Sarah. You two are people who I want to be. And business-wise, we're pretty much on the same, kind of standard level space. We're doing different things, but we're on that same level. But I still want to be you. New reality, Eileen and Debbie, like I want to be them, right? Different spaces, different places, we want to be those people. And yesterday I was in a conversation and I went into a networking meeting, and my pitch is something that my group, Sarah and I, inside of several masterminds with all kinds of business people, we've built that pitch. And it's an amazing pitch. I'm an accountability tech strategist, and people want me to niche. And I'm like, that is niched. Accountability in tech is very niche. However, they want me to niche who they can send to me. Well, I'm not going to tell you to send me a man who owns a business with 10 to 20 people in it. That's not what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to send me somebody who is a mess in a bottle and wants to make an impact on the world. And if those words do not resonate with you when you are talking to somebody, don't send them to me. And if you need a different picture, you're not the person who's in my circle, because you're not viewing people the way I view people.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I can see that. I can see that because people have asked, like, well, what type of businesses do you work with? It doesn't work like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's, I have specific HR things that I do, and I can explain that, but this could be any business. If a Fortune 500 wants to hire me, yay.
Do it. Right? Fortune 500s hire Sarah because I get a percentage.
But right, exactly. But most of the time, those people have their own consultants already on speed dial and things like that. So that's why it's more small and medium-sized businesses. But I'm not limited to nonprofits. I'm not limited to, LLCs. I'm not limited to anything. You know what I'm saying? And even further, somebody was like, "Oh, you only work with construction companies?" No, I worked with one construction company. That does not make me a construction company expert. Please. Right. And so, I'm with you, Brittany.
Yeah. At the same time you were working with a construction company, you were working with a retired pastor. Hey guys. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the same with Yvette. Yvette has a totally different community than I have, than you have. As far as like our clientele, they're completely different. And
Right.
Yvette, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about the ladies that you are attracting into House of Confidence.
Oh my God, I did not see. It's amazing when you're yourself. When you're transparent, it's all out there. This is who I am, this is what I have. And you really honest, and I didn't believe this, I thought it was BS. You really attract like-minded people. And it's the most exciting thing because you get that energy back. When it's not someone who's not aligned with you, connected with you, they don't know why they're there. It just feels like the energy does not flow back. And that's where you get those rifts, misunderstandings, and barriers. I just love that group. Besides you two being in there, it's just, you never know what someone is going through. You get so used to talking to avatars and fakeness and kind words, but it's just, I'm just blown away by the transparency and the willingness to move forward. The need to say, you know what, I've noticed something here. I don't know what it is, but I want to move from it. And that's what I'm really excited about, the ladies that are in the group now, that they're active. I don't want a group where everyone's just kind of in it. I'm struggling with that now. Do I require you to be active? But I feel like, I don't know. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were kind of saying that they didn't understand, they didn't know what was going on. But I feel like you do have to take that step. You do have to let people know that you want it. We think everything's just going to come to us. We do a couple of little clicks. But when you get into these groups, you get into these environments, you have to let people know that you want it, that you're willing to do something to transform yourself. Whether you're walking into a meeting with Sarah and saying, I honestly don't know what the hell I'm doing. This HR thing is blowing my mind. I don't know. Instead of just sitting up there and, being commanding, do this, this is what I want. Ask. I'm lost. I don't know. And it's all right. We walk around like we know every freaking thing. And most of the time I'm clueless.
100%. No, I'm the same way. Yeah. And so that is wonderful. That is a great place to kind of wrap this up for today. And in the future, we will have a good, solid path to wrap up, because I think that's the hardest thing that Brittany and I have ever done. And so if you want laughs, go watch the ends of all of my YouTube videos with Brittany. It's hilarious. I should do a montage of how we ended things. So in this case, though, today, we are going to end with, I will be the last one, and we're going to start with Brittany. Brittany, you are going to end with, what is your favorite food? And then give your website or some way to contact you.
Food.
Yes. What's your favorite food?
I can't pick.
Isn't it like chocolate strawberry ice cream or something?
Sure. I can't pick a food. I have too many.
Not a food?
No.
Okay, I'll give you an easier question. I'm a
food person.
What is your favorite state?
Oh, Colorado.
Hey!
Get me out of Louisiana all day long. I want to go home, but I want to take my rent home. But
and how does someone find you? How does somebody find you?
BizStorming.net is our site, but you can also just go ahead and email me or find me on Facebook. BizStorming. You can Google BizStorming, you will find me. Nobody else
is the only
BizStorming.
And whatever platform this is seen on, you can contact through there. Yvette, your favorite food, and how do people contact you? How do we find you?
Favorite food? I'm like with Brittany. Let's see. I like anything seafood.
All right.
Anything seafood. Let's do it. Let's go. Just bring it. But you can contact me at school. You can use the discovery page, the House of Confidence. Yeah. Or you can contact me directly, and that's how you contact me. You can go to School Discovery, put in the House of Confidence, and I will pop up, and I'll be happy to talk to you and see what you need.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. My name is Sarah, and I have my favorite food. Oh my God, I have no idea. I was going to go back into an introduction. I forgot I had to say my favorite food. So my favorite food of all time is tomatoes. I can eat tomatoes all day, every day, especially cherry tomatoes. Yes.
I'm a Roman girl.
Oh, they're little, like the
Yeah, I
smaller
like those.
cherry tomatoes.
I like the Romans because
Yeah,
there's
they're
so
not
much
too much.
meat.
Yeah.
So much meat.
But like if I had to pick a food, you're gonna laugh, but it's French fries. I could eat like potatoes or French fries every single day. Every
You're
single
a baby.
Yeah, I'm a potato junkie. I will do potatoes. All right.
I am. But we are going to end. So next time we will have a better ending. This is just pulled out of my hat. So bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you guys so much.